Hello and welcome to another episode of the Confessions of a Yarn Addict. In this episode I'm going to share what's on my needles and also share some new yarn purchases. So if you watched my video from Norway, from the yarn crawl in Oslo, the video from Oslo wasn't just yarn. I visited 3 yarn shops in Oslo and I also visited 2 yarn shops where my parents live and 1 yarn shop in another town. The one in another town is in a town called Ski, halfway between where my parents live in Oslo, and I didn't actually buy anything there. I just popped in with my mum to have a look around, but I didn't buy anything because I knew I would struggle to get everything into my suitcase. But I did buy some in my parents' local yarn shop and in one in Oslo. Now, some of it is on the needles, so I haven't got that here to show you, but I will show that later in the video when I show you what's on my needles. But the stuff I have, and I'm also going to show you some yarn that arrived while I was away. So let's start with the yarn I got in Norway first. So where my parents live is a small town about 40 kilometers south of Oslo, and it's called Vestby. And there are 2 yarn shops there. It's quite a small town. There aren't that many shops really. There's a shopping centre with a few shops, but there aren't a ton of shops. But they have 2 yarn shops, which is really amazing. Only 1 shoe shop, but 2 yarn shops. 1 yarn shop is in the shopping centre, which is the smaller one of the 2, but it's my favourite. The second yarn shop is in the town centre, and that one has quite a lot of choice. But I don't think the owner is that friendly. Probably shouldn't say that, but I can't remember the name of either of them, unfortunately. But in the one in the town centre, I got some sock yarn, which is actually on the needles, so I'll share that later. But in the other yarn shop in the town where my parents live, I got some yarn from Holst Garn, which is a Danish yarn company, which I cast on for a shawl, which I finished while I was in Norway, and that's currently with my tech editor, and I got to block it tonight actually. I sent the pattern off to my tech editor before I'd actually blocked it, which is a little bit naughty, but I wanted to get the tech editing going. So you will see that pattern hopefully in a couple of weeks. I'm planning to block it tonight if I don't forget, and then try and get some photos this weekend, although the weather is supposed to be really bad this weekend, so we'll see if it stays dry for long enough to get the photos done. But I also popped in there a few days before I came home just to get some more stock yarn, because I thought I would run out of, no I didn't, I popped in there about a week before I came home, because I was running out of yarn for the shawl I was knitting. So the whole skein I'm knitting the shawl in was a wool and silk blend, and I bought 1 colour of each, I think, and then I popped in and got a second ball of one of the colours because I was running out of yarn. And while I was there, I had a look at the rest of the yarn they had, and I ended up with, I just love this colour. So it's a bit brighter than what it looks on my screen. It's kind of like a dark pink purpley colour, and it's whole skein, and it is super soft. Colour is called magenta. It's 100% wool. It feels like a fairly rustic wool. It's not like a soft merino wool. Possibly woolen spun, but I'm not quite sure. But I just love this colour. So I was in that yarn shop probably 3 times in total, and every time this colour just really called to me. So the last time I got 2 balls. I've no idea what to do with them. I just wanted the colour. Possibly a little bit itchy for me, I don't know, but so I don't know quite what to do with them. Maybe mittens or something, but I haven't decided. But I just like that colour, and I want to try it and see what it's like. So I got those, and then at one of the yarn shops I went to in Oslo, I think I got these at Garntopia, I think it was, which is, I went to 2 yarn shops in the city centre, and you can see this more about this in the Oslo video. So if you just scroll down my list of videos, it's just a few videos ago, it's the Oslo video. I visited 2 yarn shops in the city centre in Oslo, and then for Garntopia, which is in a place called Helsfyr, I actually got the underground, and the underground in Oslo is fairly easily because they either run east or west. And this particular station, if you get any of the 4 trains 1, 2, 3 and 4, route 1, 2, 3 or 4 eastbound from the city centre, it's only a few stops. It's very, very quick, probably about 10 minutes from the city centre. And then when you get out of the tube station, if you get out of the right entrance, if I remember correctly, if you get out of the train and turn right, if you're coming from the city centre, get out of the train and turn right, because there's an entrance either end of the platform. So if you get out and turn right, you get at the nearest exit to where the yarn shop is, and you basically just cross the road, and it's just a few hundred meters. If you just look it up on Google Maps or something, you'll find it easily. But it's a yarn shop called Garntopia, quite a big yarn shop. They had a sign saying, please don't touch your yarn, ask for help, basically. I think it said something along those lines. And it's a bit difficult because I know loads of yarn shops are doing that at the moment because there is a global pandemic on. So I understand why they have to do it, but it's also very difficult because I like to take a ball of yarn off, look at the label, see what it is, how many meters it is, the thickness, the fiber composition, things like that, touch it. And if you can't do that, I don't want to get a member of staff to quite often I'll take one off the shelf, look at it, put it back, take another one off the shelf, look at it and put it back. And if I've got to ask for a member of staff to basically follow me around the shop just to show me different balls of yarn, it's a bit difficult. So anyway, I'd seen this one in the first yarn shop I went to and actually touched it, so I knew I liked it. So when I saw this on the shelf, I just grabbed. I didn't actually ask for help because this ball of yarn was kind of on its own and these were at the top, so I managed to take that without touching anything else. But it's a Danish brand again called Knitting for Olive, and is pure silk. It's a Brett silk. I don't know what Brett silk is compared to normal silk, but it feels really soft. I kind of wish I got a second ball of the grey so I could make a bigger shawl. I was thinking 3 would be enough for a kind of medium-sized shawl, but I'm thinking I wish I got another ball of that one to make a slightly bigger shawl. But yeah, this will be a shawl. And then when I came home, I got some yarn that I actually ordered before I left, and that I probably would have cast on for a shawl to take with me to Norway had it arrived before I left. But it arrived just a couple of days after I left. So these 3 beautiful skeins from John Arbon. They're knit by numbers 4-ply. I love knit by numbers. I haven't knitted too much with the 4-ply. I've done a couple of things a long time ago in the DK, but not for a long time. But every time I do a show, I look at the yarn and I think, right, this time I'm going to treat myself to some knit by numbers 4-ply, and then I never remember to do it. So I got these. It was during their mill open weekend, just prior to Norway, and I got a lilac, grey and a pink, all pastel colours. So each of their colours kind of goes from like light to dark. So I tried to choose, I think these were all the same kind of level of lightness, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm thinking these 3 will be a shawl. They're 100 grams each, I think. Hang on, yeah, 100 grams, so that's 400 meters each, so that will be a huge shawl. So I don't know, maybe I'll do something else. Poncho, maybe. I do fancy a poncho. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I will probably try and cast on with it sometime during the summer, but I do have a few other designs planned as well. And I've just realised, looking next to where I'm sitting, the yarn shop where my parents live that I don't like that much, I did get some yarn from there. I got some Regia cotton cascata. I just realised I actually had it next to me here. I thought it was downstairs. And I actually wound it, rewound it just to make the ball slightly smaller, to make it easier to fit into a small project bag. You don't need to rewind it, but I quite like to do it. And I had hoped to finish these socks in Norway, but I didn't. I got about, so I did the leg and then put in the waist yarn for the heel here, and then started the foot. So, and then I actually cast on for another pair of socks to knit on the way home. Don't know why. I should have just carried on with these, but I fancied knitting on something else. So I'll show you what else is on my needles, and then I'll finish off with a video from a place called Hvitsten, which was one of the last couple of days I was in Norway. We went around this village for a walk. It's by the Oslo Fjord, and it's actually where I lived in the 70s. It's a beautiful village. We walked from, I didn't film too much in the village centre because it's not that pretty, but when you walk along the coastline, so we walked along the coastline going south, and I've just got a little bit of video to show you, which I'll add after this. Yeah. So this is the yarn I got in Norway. This is Isagir Alpaca 1. So it's lace weight alpaca. I'm wondering, I wish I'd bought 3 balls. I got 2 50-gram balls, so that's 800 meters in total because they're 400 meters each. But I feel like I've used a lot of it and not got that far yet. So I'm a little bit worried it's going to not be enough, and I don't know whether I can get that yarn in the UK. If not, I'll have to order it and get it sent to my mum's. Order it from Norway and get it sent here. I don't know. But that's so far I've got. Really nice yarn to knit with. It's 100% alpaca. And yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting with it. And I'm really enjoying this stitch pattern. Loads of easy garter stitch and then a little bit of patterning in between. I also got this project bag in Norway. So this is from Plister, a Norwegian company, and I tend to fold it over when I knit from it, just so that the yarn doesn't get caught in the zip. But it basically has, this is linen. This is, their normal project bags are a different fabric than this. It's canvas, I think, so it's a bit thicker. This is linen, so it's quite soft and a bit floppy. Their normal ones aren't as floppy as this. It's basically got like a big pocket on this side that you can put your pattern in and things, or maybe even like a tablet. And then you could, if you're knitting with several different colors, you could thread them through here so the yarn doesn't get tangled up. The problem with that is that if you wanted to take it out of this bag, you'd have to cut the yarn to get it out of these, so that's a little bit annoying. And then on this side, it's got like different pockets. I don't really use these small ones. I guess you could put needle tips in there, pens. They're stitched all the way down, so that's good. That one is a little bit bigger, maybe phone, knitting notions. I have sometimes put my that one in there, or my reading glasses could also go in there. So it's quite a nice project bag. You can kind of fit like your knitting, enough for a sweater project, and like your pattern and different notions and stuff in there. So it's got a big pocket here, and then it's got a small one here. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you like this video, please click subscribe for more videos, or give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.